We can do it. There we are. Hello, everybody. This is Danny.
And Wanda.
Deep South Homestead. We'll give a few minutes here and just see if anybody pops in, if their notifications went off.
Maybe.
Maybe.
YouTube's not real.
Yeah, YouTube's not been real
User-friendly.
user-friendly here lately. That's been one of them things. We're constantly having to look at everything
Learn new
there.
stuff.
There is Ms. Denise.
She made it first.
The music, well, yes. Two of our favorite people just pop right in here in the busy little house.
Okay.
Oh, guys, let me tell you something. It has been a week.
It's been a good week.
It's been a good week, yeah. Kubota Acres and Dale and Lou Just Lou and more of our friends popping in there.
Yeah. Yo, I have tea tonight. I have orange spice with green tea. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. I forget to tell y'all what I'm drinking most of the time, but it's usually tea, coffee, or hot chocolate.
Yeah.
For the most part. Sometimes water, but tonight I decided I wanted tea. And
too many for me to count now and say.
They're just dreams to reality, country, homestead preacher, 2 wild onions, Papa Truck, incense, Tennessee girl, home, heaven bound, Diana, Ernie time for living, Deborah Oster, Christy Betts, Broussard. How about that? So there's a lot. Please keep our town in prayer. I was evacuated but got to go back home for now, but a dam is failing up in the mountain. Very stressful for all.
Wow. Are you in California? Is that in California?
I don't remember. Can you tell us, Busy Little House, what state you're in?
Because I know the Sierras, they had a lot of dam issues up there. I know.
Yeah.
They had one in Iowa they had a lot of problems with. They had one in Nebraska that they had problems with.
Wellborn and Pemberley. There's Pemberley. They're cast iron cookers. They do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I was sent some people over to your channel the other day.
Higgs Rock Farm. It says, howdy neighbors. I'm not sure where they're at, but howdy neighbors. Tamara Buttersworth, Pia, Kelly. Lots of them.
What you sow and the Broussards.
I said, yeah.
Miss Amanda, I missed the last 2 live streams. Happy I made it. Well, we're happy you made it too, sweetheart.
Yeah, we're hoping
Grandma
you're doing
Rose,
better.
She's just popping in. All things good. They're very stressful times. These things are very stressful. Busy little house. What state are you in?
Yeah, I don't know if she said or not because
Sinclair. There he is.
Yeah.
Prep steading with disabilities.
Now, prep steading, I sent you some seeds this week. You should be getting them. If you hadn't already, you should be getting them. Let's see. Hello, Denny and Wanda from Mount Herman.
Okay, country girl, Georgia Garden Girl said, did you say they're in Quebec?
They're in Quebec. Okay.
Okay.
I thought I saw something about in Canada.
It's going so fast I can't keep up with it. I mean, if y'all say something and I don't get to it, I am so sorry, but I cannot.
North Star Prep Steader. We won't get everybody.
I won't get everybody,
but mention some. And you guys, if you notice the 3 little buttons on the side, if you see a name that you hadn't subbed to or you want to check out, go over to them and check out Charlotte's Rub-a-Dub Homestead. She's gardening in tubs.
There's
Literal tubs.
Andy's up and doing well, we see.
Bathtubs, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
What have we
done? I have been on an endeavor this week. Of course, I've been working on the cabin most of the week. Been doing some planting. Been doing a lot of fertilizing. We will be picking English peas. Now, y'all always tell me to tell you when we're going to be doing something. If the Lord's willing, we will be picking English peas in the morning.
All right, Neil, wherever he's at, it's 2 in the morning. Here it is just after 8 o'clock at night. So you're on the other side of the world somewhere. I would say probably Australia or somewhere.
But anyway, I've been on an endeavor. Wanda and I have spent 3 days this week and nights at the cabin.
And going again tonight.
What we're doing is we're trying to get a feel of what it's like to be off grid. We're trying to see where we're weak at. Where we need what. What's our man? I'm gonna probably do a video on it coming up this week. I don't want to talk about it too much, but we're trying to see
what it's like to just totally stop everything and do away with stuff. And it's not easy. Not at all.
It's not easy. We're finding out that a lot of the YouTube channels we see that say they're off grid, no, they could be, but
some of them are off grid.
Some of them are off grid.
They're having to make some issues.
They're definitely having to work out some things that they're not showing on their channels. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Now I know Andy, who's on here. Andy's off grid, right?
I think so, unless he got power recently. I know he was off grid, or at least on new land. Let me put it that way. I know. Andy
I know he was on. Andy was. I'm just not.
What we did with the cabin, Danny and I started with new ground.
Yeah.
Granted, it was our ground already, but we cleared woods and started the cabin, and we're starting from scratch, and we're just working with it like anybody would, except we live here and we're not having to drive off to the mountains or to land somewhere else. We're doing it on our own, and we're trying to do things like landscaping and gardening and everything.
Yeah.
And y'all, it's very difficult.
It is quite difficult. Hey, Flutie Lick, I seen he jumped in here.
Thank you, guys. Do you like the new glasses? Can you see my eyes?
Miss Wanda got her glasses, and she had some special things done to them.
And anybody that might have said something in the comments last week about a place to get glasses really cheap online, if you could message me, because I know if you put it here, I'll never see it. Message me what it was at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. I have a lady that lives on the coast, an elderly lady that cannot afford her glasses, and she said she could afford them if she knew the place that y'all were talking about online.
Yeah.
So I will contact her if you will send me that information at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
Mama tried several. Rabbits eat hot pepper plants.
Probably.
I don't know, because we've never had any eat down by rabbits, so I don't know. I will say I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Andy said that the generator's been his lifesaver for like AC in his refrigerator and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned, guys, especially building this cabin, I have walked myself to death cranking and shutting off a generator to cut boards.
Yes. And when we're over there, we do not use a generator.
No, we don't use a generator
at all.
No, we have no power whatsoever.
We have a little radio that Danny cranks.
That I wind up, yeah.
And we listen to the radio to keep from hearing dogs.
Yeah.
You don't want to sleep and hear dogs, so we crank the radio and it's running, and we have no lights at all.
No lights
when
whatsoever.
When it goes dark,
it's dark.
It's dark.
I'm talking about it's black dark. You can't see this.
We have flashlights in case we have to go to the bathroom.
If we have to go to the bathroom, we have a little flashlight we use.
But we keep the fire going. Even though it's not been cold, it's been a little cool. And keeping a fire in the fireplace is the only light we have in there. And it's pretty awesome. And so we've just been testing the waters, so to speak. It's not that we want to be off grid.
No, we don't desire to be off grid. But now the cabin's not finished either. Let me say that. It's just walls with studs. There's no insulation or anything like that. We have the fireplace in, but it's not finished.
Is the toilet installed? It is a 5-gallon bucket with a
plywood lid.
Home-built toilet seat.
Yeah. And with a thing of sawdust sitting beside it.
Yeah.
So the toilet's been working out okay. That's not an issue.
Yeah, we don't have the toilet does fine.
That does fine.
Danny cooks breakfast, so
I cook breakfast on the fireplace every morning, like I showed y'all in the video. That works out really good, because the cabin, when we get up in the mornings, usually around 49 to 55.
The toilet is installed.
Yeah, Sherry, the toilet is installed, whether believe it or not.
It's portable. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I can take it outside, clean it up, and bring it back in.
Yeah.
It's a portable toilet, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lights is not even a problem.
No.
We're really enjoying not touching the internet, nothing like that, because when we leave here and go over there,
no internet.
There's no internet. Now I come back during the day to do things over here because we still have to wash clothes and I have to wash dishes and
but I don't.
cook things. Danny stays
I
over
stay
there
over there
all day.
and I work on the cabin. I don't even come back over here.
Yeah. And so I run in, I either upload videos, edit videos, check social media, whatever, and I go back. So when we're over there, I told some friends of mine, what was it, Thursday night, we were leaving here around 4 in the afternoon, and I told them, I says, all right, guys, gotta go, good night or something. And they laughed. They says, okay, where are you going at this time of the afternoon? And I didn't get back on till the next day. So
Sinclair got me.
What did he say?
Oh, man. Mr. Sinclair said, I tried going off grid. Worst 10 minutes I ever spent in my life.
Mr. John said he used a composting toilet in town for 2 years, no problem. Sawdust works well.
It does.
It does.
It really works well. Sawdust works fine.
It doesn't
no smell.
Seem like it's that big a deal. The problem comes that I can't cook yet because we have no way except for the fireplace. We have a grill and what do you call the other grill? The like cowboy grill and
just a gas grill.
Gas grill, and then we do have a rocket stove. So I'm going to do videos on some of those things, but to cook the way I'm used to cooking is not easy to do over there.
No.
And then when it comes to washing clothes, I have nothing over there to wash clothes. I have nothing over there to wash dishes. We don't have any cabinets or anything in there right now. It's a shell. So it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. But we figure, why not start staying in it some before it's finished to figure out exactly what we need to do while we're finishing it. Is there a... Now we are going to wire it with 110 volts. We're going to wire it with 12 volts. Mm-hmm. In the event in the future we pass away and the kids want to sell it or whatever, the power company can hook up to it and it's code ready. There won't be any problems with that. Or if you want to do a solar generator system, then it's going to be wired for 12 volt. We will have some solar lighting in it, I will tell you that. So we know that for sure.
Yeah, we're working towards some of that. And like I said, the main thing I'm finding right now, I can go over there and sit all day and I can enjoy it. Danny's working on the cabin. I can sit, but I don't get anything done because I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning anything up, washing clothes or dishes or anything. I'm just sitting. I can sweep the cabin out. I can make the bed, and that's about it. So I enjoy it, but I'm not getting work done. That's my thing, is until we get it a little more ready, I guess.
Jeff said he's without running water. Someone climbed under his house and cut off his copper pipe saw, so he'll be putting PVC up.
Okay.
Now that's wanting to steal something, to crawl under somebody's house and cut their copper pipes off.
That's... Y'all, I have heard some stories of people stealing stuff here lately, and it's just amazing.
It's amazing. Now, we are looking at some solar ceiling fans. We're looking at some solar lighting and stuff like that.
Yes, because the hotter it gets in the summer, we do have to have some kind of fan moving the air.
The Max Happy Homestead said, what are we doing for water? We carry our water over there right now from this house. We fill up containers and we take them over there. And that's what we...
Because we don't have a well.
There's no well over there.
Yeah. And so we're finding, even though we're doing modern ways in one way and working with the other, it's kind of, how do you transition? If you had to do it quickly...
Yeah.
And there's nobody, like we're right here. I can tote water in the truck, or I can walk across the field. It doesn't take me a couple of minutes, and I can tote things. But what if you move on your land and you're somewhere 10 to 50 acres of land and there's nobody around and there's no water, there's no well? Where are you getting your water?
Two Wild Onions says, how far from a house is your cabin. It's across, I'd say, it's not quite a quarter of a mile. It's a little bit less than a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, probably.
We have a spring and well water, Higgs says. We have a spring. We don't have, well, we have a well, but we have 2 wells at this place. We just haven't put one over there yet. Let's see. Dan 821 says both Viking preparedness with Pastor Joe and Sister Kate as well, or as Doug and Stacy, are totally off grid. See, I don't have a problem with any of them, except they don't show me how they take a bath with hot water.
Danny's trying to.
I'm trying to figure that out. I want somebody to tell me, how do you take a bath with hot water if you're off grid without?
They're not going to show you them taking a bath.
No, I don't mean that. All these channels show you all this stuff, but they show you they have rain catchment systems, and they show you they have this, but how are you heating that water in freezing temperature other than on a wood stove or something?
And pouring it
in the tub. And I saw Dirt Patch do hers with a pump-up sprayer. I ain't doing that. But, I mean, you show me.
Taking a shower with a dirt pump-up
show me how you're washing dishes with hot water. Show me how you're taking a bath with hot water. And, I mean, in the summertime when it's 110 degrees, you're gonna fire up that wood heater and heat that water to take a bath with? I don't think so. I mean.
We're just trying to figure this out because we're so hot in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And during the summer, to take a bath, I could sit the water outside and probably be good and warm by the end of the day. I wouldn't need anything else.
I mean, I could see putting a big black tank outside, letting it sit in the sun, and then running that water in, and letting pressure feed it to you, stuff
like that.
The
Cyber says they have an off-grid shower. They did 2 years ago, okay? All right, is it indoor or outdoor? Because Danny's wanting to build inside.
I want to shower inside the house.
He's wanting to build it, and we're doing a water catchment, but we don't want to take a cold shower. And we do know the lorries have what is that thing that converts it? But you can have power, right?
Gas.
You have to have gas.
You can buy the gas heaters. I know that works.
Yeah.
But you got to have gas to do it. I'm looking for off-grid.
Where we don't have.
I have no electricity. I have no gas. If EMP happens and it's freezing outside, how am I going to heat that water?
Either solar would work. We've also looked into the pipe system where you have the pipe going.
PEX. I'll be using PEX.
No, I mean to heat the water. The water heater we've talked about.
Yeah, we've talked about. I've installed several solar hot water heaters.
But that's one of those. Boss of the Swamp has an off-grid shower. All right, Two Wild Onions says theirs is inside and off-grid completely.
But what do you have, and how does it work?
Do you have a video?
Yeah, is there a video? I mean,
that's what we're kind of looking for.
Two Wild Onions says we heat water on a wood stove. We have a shower stall and a bucket on a pulley in the shower. Now, do you do that in the dead of summer when it's 110 degrees outside?
Light a fire under a clawfoot tub.
Hey, I've actually seen people scald hogs that way.
Oh, that was Georgia Garden Girl.
Oh, they said they do have a video on it. Okay.
Two Wild Onions.
We will watch that.
We'll have to go find it.
Beth says, Danny, do I need to fertilize pinto beans? And if so, when? Well, you should have fertilized them before you planted them. And then you plant them when they're you fertilize them when they're about 6 to 8 inches tall with a side dress. And then you want to do it again when they start bearing blooms real good.
Put in a tub and let the sun warm it. Now, see, that during the summer would not be hard because if you had something outside, you could do that. Because, like I said, I could put water outside, heat it up, and we could take a bath. Summer's not going to be that difficult, I don't think. But you're not going to crank up a stove very often with wood and in the summer it's just too hot.
Christy said put a clawfoot tub in front of the fireplace and put a top on it when you're not use it for a table.
We don't have that much room.
I don't have that much room in the trailer. I mean,
we really thought about the clawfoot, but we would have to have the little small one, and it's hard to find those. So Danny's decided to build his own creation there.
Okay. My Kentucky home says in the summer we use an outside shower, heat water, and black trash can.
Zach and Jamie use the shower bag.
And we have all that stuff.
We have one of those little things that
Yeah,
I guess could be used.
I guess it could be used, but I'm looking for something that is.
But you have to have a cigarette lighter.
Yeah, we do. We have the little generator we could use, but Lake of Beck says use dehydrated water. It's easy to heat.
All right, check out Desert Sun 02. Desert Sun 02, if you can remember that one. How are the taters doing? We are going to be harvesting a few of them to eat this week if nothing happens.
Two Wild Onions says, I do miss a bathtub. I really don't. I haven't sat in a bathtub in 10, 15 years. I mean, I take a shower.
I'm always taking a shower. I'm used to a shower, but I don't mind a tub. So I could get used to a tub again because it is relaxing.
Amanda says, Danny, you're trying to be too high tech. Maybe so. But you know me, I am so OCD and so particular. I want this thing to be functional. I don't want to get out here and it not function right.
He wants to think the process that we're not near about to this situation, but it is bugging him on this hot water shower. I mean, you can look at videos all day long.
Well, I thought about doing the closed loop system.
Yeah.
With the panels and stuff. But I don't know, I just hadn't got there.
Do you harvest your potatoes by the color of leaves or do you go by dates?
I harvest my potatoes when the plants die.
Yeah.
One thing I never thought I'd say, laugh out loud, Amanda says.
I don't know what she was saying.
My Kentucky home says we use a battery-powered pump to pressurize the shower. Okay, it's like a PV pump then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking, something like that. Okay, so I forgot. We did get... what
are we doing here? You got to do the little eye.
Yeah, okay. I did take some pictures. Well, okay, so it's not working.
All right.
Okay, we put two windows in. The bottom window is the bedroom. The top is the loft. And that's pretty much, I'm showing you where they're at. That's basically it. The build itself is over on Patreon. The install will be up maybe in a week. This is the little window is going to be where the kitchen sink is. And the back window is where the table's going to be.
That's where the kitchen table will be. Oh, well, we're just a table. We're not going to call it the kitchen table. The eating table.
It's going to be a table.
Yeah.
So that's the windows we put in. Okay, I wanted to show them.
Hunter said they got 150 pounds of potatoes planted today. Woo!
That's a lot of potatoes.
It's a lot of potatoes.
Yeah. I keep forgetting. All right, guys. The cabin garden. Y'all want to know what candy corn growing looks like? That is candy corn. It's a sweet corn. And right now, I have, maybe a third of it up?
Yeah, maybe a third.
It's not up full stand yet.
Not coming up very well.
It's kind of sporadic, but it's coming up. So that is what candy corn looks like growing. The cabin garden itself, the tomatoes on the left and all my peas and beans are up probably, nearly 2 inches.
Yeah.
So the peas and beans have done really, really good coming up fast. And then a few of my squash are actually popping the ground. See, I started nothing in containers except the tomatoes. So all this has been from seed, a week and a half ago?
About that.
So stuff going directly in the ground will grow. Other than that, I think the only other thing I had was carrots. We put up 27.
We did. We canned 27 pints of carrots this week.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
We have a video on Monday coming up, and we haven't gotten the tally of how many carrots per professional garden as opposed to the Love Garden, but I think in the Love Garden we ended up with around 24 or 25 pints out of the Love Garden. The rest will be out of his garden, and I'm not sure exactly the grand total, so I'll have to check that.
2 wild onions, yes. Tell your husband, yes. I owned a construction company for 26 years. That's what I did. I built $1 million homes and some smaller homes, but mostly the big fancy ones.
Pia says she loves the tractor plowing and planting videos. All right, YouTube Yoda says potatoes in containers look like a nice method. Just got here. We have containers with peppers in them. We have not put any potatoes in any.
We haven't put any potatoes in any. No, we haven't.
Hi, Sammy Joe.
That was all the pictures you had, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. How soon do you plant green beans and carrots? The green beans are already planted.
Green beans are already planted up about 6 to 8 inches tall.
The Blue Lake that he planted.
The Blue Lake.
Now, mine hadn't come up. I planted contenders again because this is like the second year, and we've still not gotten them to come up, so we're having issues with the contenders.
But root crops go in tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow is a root crop day.
According to my funeral home calendar. And then I think it's going to be the end of the month before there's a root crop planting day again. I forgot. I've got to go through and look at it really closely. But for the people on Patreon, I've been putting up those day by day. And I'm going to try and continue it through May if I can. I'm going to try and work on that this weekend.
Grandma Rose, I only use inoculant on the English peas. Now it says you need to use them on all peas and beans, but I only use them, and it probably would help them. I'm not going to say it wouldn't, but I usually just do the English peas.
Okay. Somebody asked, will we make any dairy products from our goats? We've been discussing the goats.
We have. We are up to 5 females now, and we're fixing to have a 6th one.
We're getting a 6th one in a couple of weeks.
So next year, we're not going to do any milking this year. We're going to let them just dry up naturally, and then this fall, around late October, we're going to breed all 6 of them, so that next year we will have a whole herd of goats, and we'll be able to put some meat in the freezer, sell some.
Plus have the
milk and the dairy stuff. We're just too busy this year with the cabin and the gardens and all. And
really, we want them to get used to being mamas right now too, and they're doing fabulous.
They're doing great.
Babies they're eating like crazy. Well, I don't know. Shadow's, we haven't seen Shadow just eat.
No, Shadow hasn't eaten yet. Sandra wants to know, how is your growth system in the little greenhouse doing?
It's been doing great. I've already taken out some of the things that were dying out, and I've started with the strawberries. I have all the lettuces coming out this week, and then I'm going to replace it with strawberries. The tomatoes I have tomatoes this big, and 1 or 2 of them are starting to turn. They're patio tomatoes, and there's probably at least a dozen, if not more, tomatoes on there with more blooms, and the plants are going crazy. They must be indeterminate to go all over everywhere.
Indeterminate.
Yeah.
Wellborn, we have the same bowl and same picture that you're talking about your grandpa had, and we're probably going to be incorporating that in the bathroom for what we call just sponge baths and stuff like that, because that's what a lot of the older
bowl. We have 2.
We have 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to read, and they bounce about time. The 28th and 30th for root crop, Charlotte says. Yeah.
That'd be tomorrow and the next day. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be canning tomorrow, though, because we got to pick English peas and can them.
We'll have to get those done. The goats, I've done some videos, but I hadn't gotten any put together. Somebody asked how many people came to the gathering. Well, we didn't get quite accurate count.
We didn't get an accurate count, but we know it was over 300.
We know at least around 300 plus.
Yeah.
Some people did not come to the front and sign in, and there was a lot of them that came in the back door, so they did not sign in. So we know around 3 at least. How is Hank? Hank is Hank.
Hank is still Hank, bless his heart. He's wide open all the time.
We're trying to transition his food into a different dog food, and he's not cooperating.
Yeah.
He has not cooperated since he was a puppy with that. So
2 Wild Onions says, why is the almanac called the funeral calendar? It's not. Our funeral home here just happened to have a calendar that we post over on Patreon every day. We post the day on the calendar. It tells you whether it's a good planting day. It tells you whether it's above ground, below ground, what sign of the body that day is in, the moon signs. It tells you all that stuff.
Let me see if I can get this where they can see it. I'm advertising, guys, for Moore's Funeral Home.
Yeah.
There's the phone number. You need a funeral home, call them. But this is what it's looking like.
It tells you all that stuff. Tells you, you know. And what we do is we take a picture every day of the day and we post it over on Patreon so that our patrons will know
to pull weeds,
to kill weeds, to till soil, to plant above ground, plant below ground, whatever. You know, all that stuff. Hey, two family.
Perks for Danny's life insurance policy.
Hey, this is no lie. I was in here sick. Was Amanda here when you went and got that?
Somebody was.
Somebody was visiting. Somebody was visiting us, and I was very sick and on the couch.
Yeah, it was Amanda.
It was Amanda
when you were sick.
Amanda was staying here taking care of me while Wanda went to town, and I asked her. I said, "Where have you been?" She said, "To the funeral home." And I was like, "Well, I'm not that far gone yet. I hope." You know.
And I came back with the calendar. It was a perk, but I had to pay on this policy.
She went to pay on the policy. She was making sure that policy was paid up.
Just in case.
Just in case.
We were supposed to talk about bygone days and things. We were taking off me in the funeral home.
I'm telling you guys, every time I get sick, she goes to the funeral home.
I'm thinking about going this week. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. No, we just have fun.
Okay. So, guys, we were going to just see if y'all remember some things when we get there.
Two wild onions. A lot of people need to look at Patreon because I didn't get to put my video up this week that I wanted to put up on vaccines because I've been busting my butt all week.
He actually got the windows done, but he's also started the porch. And I know if you noticed in one of the pictures, you can see he started with the porch roof because that's the next step that we want to kind of get done. Sherry says, I stay on top of things. Yes, I do. Everyone needs to check out. Oh, she's telling everybody to check out Patreon.
Yeah, Amanda says, yeah, it was her. It was pitiful. She said, I remember asking why. You think is he dying?
No, when a bill comes in the mail, Danny and I try to pay it. We don't wait and let it get behind or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so his policy was, it was time to pay it within the next week. And we had planned on going by there, and he got sick, so I just went by myself. It wasn't like it was a unplanned thing.
We do. We try to pay our bills 2 to 3 weeks in advance.
And I pay it up for a year, and then we're good till the next year. So
yeah.
Today was graveyard maintenance day
and lunch on the grounds.
Yeah, now see, we used to do that at our church.
Well, when I went to, we don't do that here, but when I went to church in Central Mississippi, when I lived up there, they had a memorial service and a memorial day for the people who had passed on, something I'd never heard of, but they did it up there. And everybody in the church got together, cleaned the funeral grounds up, the graveyard grounds. And then they had a big dinner on the ground and everything.
Yeah, and that kind of comes to the remember when, or what do you remember from back in the day? Because when we were kids, we had what we called dinner on the grounds, and people look at us like we're crazy. But at my church, twice a year, they had what they called dinner on the ground, which started a revival. And literally, they took tables outside because we didn't have a place inside to eat. They took the tables and lined about 10 long tables. The women brought white sheets and put over them, and everybody put their food all along, and the men went first. You had the preacher and then all the men. Then the women would take the kids and help them with their plates, and the women ate last. Just kind of a courtesy thing.
Yeah.
And that stuff is gone out the window.
It's all out the windows now. I mean,
no, and to say you're going to eat outside, people look at
people
you like
freak out in the South in the summertime. If you say, I'm going to eat outside, oh my gosh.
Box dinner raffles. What else are we doing? Concrete tables. Yeah, she said they still do it, hers with concrete tables.
Country homestead preacher, do you know any tips to keep the carpenter bees from putting holes in wood? I don't know how to stop them from putting holes in the wood, but once they start burning it, you can take the WD-40 with that little tube on it and squirt it up in there, and it usually stops them right away.
Kelly said her grandmother was in charge of the church and the ground maintenance, mainly because she lived across the street. It was easy for her to get. I cleaned our church and kept the inside really looking good for many years because I lived within 2.5 miles from it, you know.
I grew up in a home with men first, children, then ladies.
Exactly.
Denise, that is the way I was raised. When I see people now, especially at churches, the first thing happens, the kids run up there and they all get up at the front of the line
and push and
they're pushing and shoving all the old people out of the way, and there's no thought for respect or anything. The men got to go, well, the older people went first, and then the men, and then the children, the ladies got the children's plates and stuff like that, and then the ladies ate last.
And the children stood in line. They waited patiently. They did not push and shove, or they weren't whining and crying and throwing fits for the most part. You probably had some whining kids, I'm sure.
There was always going to be some.
You always have one or two.
Yeah.
The people at Sherry's church take turns cleaning. Yeah, we used to do that too at some churches I've been at. 2 ladies each week would take turns cleaning.
Yeah. And actually, one thing, I got to live next to some Oriental ladies from Korea, and they actually went to the table, picked out the best food on the table, served their husbands, and then after the men completely finished eating, they got their plates and put them up, and then if there was anything left, they went back and ate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't park close to the doors. We let our elders park there.
Yes.
That's another one.
That's another one. Yeah.
All the church around the front of the church would be for the disabled and the elderly. And now it's a free-for-all. I mean, yeah, you still have your handicapped parking places. Most churches do have that, or most anywhere has handicap now.
Yeah.
But the elderly, if you don't have a handicap sticker, it's just whatever. You got to park 40 miles out in Walmart and walk.
Yeah.
You got to have that handicap sticker. Danny says he's going to get him a handicap sticker.
I'm going to get me a handicap sticker one of these days, because I hate Walmart anyway.
He don't like walking. He will drive around Walmart for 15 minutes hunting a place close to the store. I have
not in a handicap place or anything like that, but they have some
close one to the door, and I have made him let me out because it's pretty full, and let me go in, get what I need, and while he's riding around, I can come back out and he can pick me up because he never finds a spot close enough. True story.
Yeah. Joseph said, my shower is outside, been using it for 3 years. Winter has been no problem. Oh, I'm telling you, Joseph, I ain't taking no cold bath outside in the winter time.
Well, he didn't say it was cold now.
I ain't taking a warm bath outside in the cold weather.
He wants to be inside.
I'm going to be inside.
The church potlucks, yeah. Okay, so one of the other things we were thinking about was men always took care of the women. They held the doors. They would open doors for them. They would take their chairs out, push them back up. They would help them with their coats. They would tote things for them.
Yeah.
Now, women are offended if men do that.
If a man does that now, a woman, not all women, but a lot of women get offended because they're like, I'm not helpless, you know?
Yeah. And when we first got married, I'm going to tell a true story on Danny and me. No, we were.
I don't know what she's going to say, so.
We were actually dating. It was before we got married. He came around the first couple of times and he would open the car door, and I was not used to that. Nobody's ever opened a car door for me. And, well, I can't say that. When I was dating, because I went to the same side, and that's when you had them bench seats. We both got in on the driver's side, so the door was open for me.
Yeah.
But with 2 doors and a thing in the middle, you don't do that anymore. And so Danny actually came around and opened the door for me. And I'm looking at him kind of funny. And I get in and sit down. He shuts the door and he goes and gets in and we drive off. And he does that several times. And I'm like, okay, I'm not used to this. And one day I asked him, I said, so you open the doors all the time? And he said, well, yeah. And I said, well, I'm not used to it. I think the reason we had that discussion is because I went out before you did, and I actually opened the door, and you says, wait, I was fixing to get
I'm
the
supposed to
door.
open that door?
And I'm like, I can open the door. It was just odd for me because I'd never had that.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here.
Deborah says she taught her son to stand up and greet people when they have company. Kids, that's one of them I read. Yeah. Kids do not do that anymore. They just run around and holler, mama, mama, mama.
Or they're right up in their parents' face while their parents are talking.
And they don't respect the other adults in the room. The one thing I saw was they used to, when somebody came in, the parents would say, hey, this is, and that child would stand up. It was out of respect for the person that came in.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, I forgot that one until I read it. You know.
Yeah, it's
and give up his seat. Yes.
My daddy would have slapped me on the ground if I'd have been disrespectful when people were talking.
Dan said he got chewed out for holding the door open for a young lady. See, that's why you don't do it now.
A lot of men don't do it. You get chewed out a few times and you go, well, you know what? Open your own darn door. Yeah.
Exactly. They don't want men that are men. They want to be, you know, I don't know. I guess we're just kind of going off on a tangent, but that was one of the things. It said that women now think it's patronizing and unsettling and uncomfortable for a man to hold the door open or anything like that. And
debt-free, Donna says, my 3-year-old grandson opens the door for me. If I don't let him, he gets mad.
Yeah.
And Denise says you best not interrupt while grown-ups are talking unless you're bleeding. That was my dad's theory. He said, son, if adults are talking, you better not open your mouth, because if you do, you better be bleeding or you're going to be bleeding.
Yeah, Azeline says she almost got in a fight because she asked a teenage boy to move his truck out of a handicapped parking spot at the grocery store. Oh, I can imagine you got told a lot of ugly stuff because they don't think they have to.
Yeah, see, Christy's right. When the grown-ups come to the house, the kids were told, get out of the house, don't come back in the house, don't open the door unless it's an emergency.
Go play.
Go play. Stay outside.
But kids nowadays are inside with their games and stuff.
With their games, and they're right up under their parents' britches legs and everything else, yeah. We play under the house. We play
all out in the front yard.
We talked about this on one of our other videos. We didn't have any grass in the yard. We swept the yard clean. It was just dirt. If you had grass in the yard, you were trashy, you know, because you didn't keep your yard clean. And we would get out there as kids and we'd play underneath the house because the houses was built, you know, way up off the ground, and had our little trucks and our little Tonka truck things and played under there.
Yeah, Charlotte said they were taught not to go where the men were talking when they were young. I can remember when I was young, we didn't hang around the men at all. We were girls, but
yeah, but women.
And even with the women, once I got to be a teenager, if I wanted to sit where my mom and my aunts and other women were, I had to sit and be quiet. If I was there, I had to sit and be quiet.
Yeah.
I couldn't just make my presence known, but I could sit in the women's. But when I was under teenage years, you better be gone. Mama didn't want to catch you up in the rest of them.
No.
And it wasn't that they were talking ugly or the men was talking ugly.
No.
It just wasn't any of the kids' business what they were talking about. And nowadays, I'm going to tell y'all, most kids know everything you know. Because they're in, and if you say it and you think your kids are naive enough not to, I'm going to tell you, the kids know.
The kids know.
If they're in the room with you, they know exactly what you're talking about, who you're talking about, and everything else.
Two Wild Onions Homestead said, did you both grow up in the South? Yes, we did.
Yes, right here. I was about an
hour or something from me, yeah.
Yeah. Did you make the pop guns from the China berry.
China berry trees. Yes, you push that little soft core out of the middle of it, and you. I've done it.
He made everything.
Oh man.
Okay, I gotta tell this because I got a video coming up on Patreon.
What?
Maybe Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember what day. I think it might be Monday.
What is it about?
Putting the Duravent in the cabin.
Yeah.
Y'all get to see Danny play with his new toy he built.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that's for Patreon people.
Yes.
Okay.
He couldn't help himself. He's a kid at heart.
Yeah, I am a kid at heart.
Shoes off when you come inside. I still do that. I hardly ever walk inside with my shoes on. Danny does because he has tie-up shoes. Gemini said her mom spoke French, and if kids wasn't to listen, they spoke French.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had to speak back and all. How long have we been married? This year will be 6 years. 6 years?
Yeah, be 6 years. 6 long years.
No, it ain't.
No, I'm just joking.
It's passed so fast.
Actually, it has gone fast. It really has. We were talking about that the other day, and we realized, we was like, gosh, we've already been married 6 years.
And it doesn't seem like it. I mean,
no, it seems like we just met a few years ago.
Well, it was a few years ago.
Christy said, I remember 10-cent Cokes. I remember 10-cent Cokes. I remember 25-cent a gallon gas. I remember penny matches, penny candy, all those things.
All right. Somebody said, Eyes to See said, did you finish it, Danny? Awesome, fine. She's talking about the garden tool.
Oh, no, I got a lot. I'll be a while before I finish
We're working on the cabin right now.
Yeah, I got to go buy all the bolts for that thing. Then I got to take it all apart. I got to hand grind it all back down to where and re-oil it and everything. It'll be a while. I got to go to the coast and buy new handles.
Yeah. Grace before meals. Yes, Danny and I
still do that. I still do that.
Hey, Scratch Maid. Scratch Maid made some good pickles, y'all. If y'all hadn't seen Crazy Days, go over to my channel and check it out. I opened Scratch Maid's pickles. I don't know what he calls them. You'll have to tell me what you're calling those pickles because you didn't put a name tag on it. He asked for my opinion, and they're crunchy, they're sweet, they're hot. I thought there was a hint of dill because when I opened it, I thought I smelled dill, but I'm not 100% sure. He'll just have to tell you.
Oldie says gas was 13.9 cents a gallon when they started driving. Guys, I remember when a brand new car cost $2,500.
Yeah, and somebody says you don't leave the table until you were told to. Everybody sat at the table.
Yep.
When I grew up, we all
sat at the table. Yep.
Every meal. My mom put out, or made us girls, put out the plates, the forks, whatever we needed, and she put everything in a bowl, every meal. Everything she made. If she made mashed potatoes, they were in a bowl. If she made gravy, they were in a bowl. Chicken was on a plate. You had green beans or peas or whatever, all in bowls, and you passed it around the table every time we sat down to eat.
Yeah.
There wasn't any free-for-alls and reaching over. You passed it.
You passed it around. You reach across that table.
You draw them back a nubbin.
My daddy'd bust your mouth. I mean, he'd bust you in a heartbeat. Yeah. Take you outside, and when you came back inside, you probably couldn't shut up from whimpering.
Green stamps. My mom.
Oh, I remember green stamps. H&R green stamps.
We had
or H&S. H&S. Is it H&S or
S&H?
S&H. I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
Mom had the book. And that was our favorite thing, is to sit and try to figure out.
Little plates and glasses and, you know.
Well, she would have like 15, 20 of the green stamp books filled out.
Yeah.
And we would take her book, and you couldn't get anything very much for what she had. So we would figure out how much more we needed to order something really nice.
Yeah.
And when they shut that down, I thought we were all going to cry.
Everybody.
And we never really got
you had a catalog that went with it. You know, you had this little catalog you could look through for so many books. You could get this and.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was window shopping for us. When I got to sit at the big table at Christmas dinner, I felt like I was grown. Oldie says his wife still puts everything on the bowl and on it in the table.
Yeah.
Yes, cups in tea. I'm not sure what the. Oh, when you ordered, when you bought oatmeal had a glass in it.
It did.
You remember
Yep.
that?
Yep.
Every time you got oatmeal, you got the
You
glass.
got the little glass. If you bought flour, then the sack could be used to make clothes out of. Root beer floats. I remember root beer floats.
Y'all gonna make me want to float, and I can't. I tried to talk Danny into taking me to Frosty Mug today. I'm gonna have to make him take me.
We ain't going to town if we don't have to.
We will be Monday. My mom's first car cost $37.25, as that was all my pops had saved up.
Yep.
The Sears catalog. Sears, JCPenney, and Montgomery Ward were 3 catalogs we got every winter. And when we did, we drew and wrote our names out beside everything, and Mom had to choose from that for Christmas.
Jennifer and them said they still sit at the table as a family.
Charlotte says she licked many of those stamps. We did too.
Yep.
That was a nasty tasting
stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Flour had plates in them. That is correct.
And they had the
and
towels.
They didn't get broken. These people back then took more care of what they were doing. Now they'd just be pitching that stuff up and forklifts and running into it.
Glass all in your flour.
You'd have glass all in your flour. It'd be an insurance risk or a hazard or something.
Laundry soap with hand towels on the box. Yes.
Yep.
You always got something free because they wanted you to buy their product.
Yeah.
Danny, Stiver says you got to take me to.
No, we ain't.
Yes, we are going to Frosty Mug.
Well, we might go if we're in town, but we ain't making no special trip to go to no place to eat.
I ain't eating. I'm getting a Frosty Mug.
If we're in town, you can have one, but we're not.
And we're going to do a live stream from Crazy Days of whatever I get, because they have like 15, 20 different flavors there, all kinds. And I tried the dill pickle. And
she did.
Okay.
I remember that. She said it was okay. It wasn't what she expected, but it was okay.
I can eat it. It's good. The candy corn is delicious. So I got to choose something else. Do we have a 5 and 10?
No, they done away with that years ago here. Walmart came in.
Yeah.
Now we have a Dirt Cheap, which is about the same thing.
No, Dirt Cheap is like secondhand. It's new stuff that's
dollar store.
Dirt Cheap's one of those that has junk stuff.
Yeah.
It's been taken back, and the stores give you your money back on it. Put it that way. Discounted
Lake
stuff.
Effect said they had to work at the filling station, had to pump gas for the customer and check their oil for $1.65 an hour. I'm telling y'all. I remember party lines.
We had a 2-party line when I was growing up. My dad had the same phone number from the time I was a little kid until right before my dad passed 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now. He had the same phone number all these years, and I can tell you what it is to this day. But I don't want you calling my brother-in-law because I think he still has that number for his business. But we had a 2-party line. The lady that had the other party stayed on the phone all the time, and my dad was running his business out of it, and he would have to tell her, look, I need the phone. Can you get off? And she would get mad and hang up right quick.
Yep.
And just as soon as he made his call and got off, she was back on the phone again. She stayed on the phone almost all the time. We hated party lines.
Oh, I hated them. You always had to wait for somebody to get off. And then other people listening on your phone calls.
Get a Frosty on the way to pay the funeral bill. Well, it's paid for a year, but I was going to call and see if they had any more calendars they were wanting to just get rid of, since it is April. And I was going to just use some as giveaways or something, but I hadn't called them. Maybe this week I'll remember. How about warming the TV up
when you waited for Walt Disney on Sunday? I remember that. Gentle Ben came on, then Walt Disney came on.
Mutual of Omaha. But see, we went to church on
Jack
Sunday.
Cousteau.
We always had to go to church, so I couldn't watch Walt Disney except when we had revival, and we had no service on Sunday night.
Oh, remember you used to gather the Coke bottles up and take them back for deposits? We used to get a nickel a piece, and then it got to a dime one time. Yeah.
We still have a rotary dial phone here.
We do. We still have a rotary phone.
What was so funny when I got here, Danny says, well, if EMP or anything happens, I still have a rotary dial phone that I can use. And I said, okay, have you thought this through? who you gonna call? Because nobody else has a
Nobody else has that we knew the number of. Yeah.
He says, I can still call people. I said, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Lauren Green, yes, Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams. Matter of fact, I watched Grizzly Adams the other day on YouTube.
Blondie and Dagwood.
I remember them. They were cartoon characters.
Yes.
Yes.
I love Grizzly Adams. That was one of my favorites of all time.
Yep.
We watched a lot of that. I can remember one night, now talking about Bonanza, I can remember this is going to be all my life. I guess I came home from school sick, and I laid down and went to sleep. And when I woke up, I thought it was morning, but I could hear Bonanza playing the music in the background. And I got up in a daze and went, I was probably 6 or 7 years old, walking into the kitchen and living room area going, why is Bonanza on right now? Mom goes, you've only been asleep a couple of hours.
People talks about remembering the cartoons on Saturday mornings. And I was never allowed to watch cartoons on Saturday morning. I always had to work. Now, my brothers and sisters got to watch cartoons, but I had to go to work.
Yo, I watched Ma and Pa Kettle the other night. That is the funniest thing ever.
It is.
I'm going back and watch more. If you have not watched Ma and Pa Kettle, you need to watch them because it is hilarious. I mean, I love them too. That is just funny. There's nothing good like that anymore.
No, those are the old I call them the old icon shows. They're just gone. They were clean. They're gone.
Johnny Quest, I remember that.
I remember. Well, my brother watched. That was a cartoon, wasn't it?
That was a cartoon. Yes.
I think it was. I remember my brother watching it. Popeye the Southern Man. I remember him.
The Egg and I don't know that.
I don't know what the Egg and I was.
I knew I was grown up when I didn't have to eat with the dogs anymore. Sinclair, to be honest, you're still eating with the dogs.
You're still eating with the dogs, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we have.
Well, the dog's eating with him.
No, Sinclair lost his buddy.
He did. He did.
You know, I felt so bad.
We felt so bad for him.
He did. He's moved.
Which we're about to forget something. Which brings me to a point here. We're getting close to the end anyway. Guys, this is on a serious moment now. I'm being dead serious here. Wanda and I lost 2 dear friends this week.
Yes.
They were subscribers to our channel and very close friends of ours. One of them come to our house on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. The other one, they were at the gathering. 2 of the gatherings. They were at 2 of our gatherings. Kathy and Randy Purvis. So Randy went to the Dakotas to work, and when he got up there, he had a massive heart attack and passed away. Yes. And the other one is Amy Sutherland. Y'all probably seen her on here quite often in the past. Or if you've looked at any of our older videos, especially around Christmas time or right around before that, I used to always call her my girlfriend because she was handicapped. She was in a wheelchair. It was because of an accident, a doctor accident years ago. But she ended up handicapped. It was a medical thing. Issue. And it used to bring a tremendous smile on Amy's face when I would say she was my girlfriend, and she would always send us little odd things. When she knew you wanted the Scoville hoe. Yeah. She messaged me and she says, "Okay, is this what Danny's looking for? Is this what he's calling a Scoville hoe?" And I said, yes, because I thought she was looking for one for her. This was the first time we really got to know her. Yeah. And I mean, people are always asking because they're looking for the same things Danny's looking for. Yeah. So I didn't think anything of it. And a few days later, it shows up at our house. She actually bought it and sent it to him. And then one year, she sent him all the pastas and stuff. The pastas that are gluten-free. It was the same brand, the same meals that he did. Yeah. And I couldn't find them anymore. Walmart carried them for a long time, and they just quit. So she sent a whole box of those and things. So she's been very special, and we've been in contact with her mother the last few days. Her mother's supposed to be sending us a picture of her. She did. Remember I showed you? Yeah, she did. That's right. She did. Amy was a beautiful young woman. I mean, she was like 30-something. She was 30. Medical accident. Like 30-something years old? She was in her 30s. In her 30s, yeah. and just broke my heart, literally.
When she
we
told
sent
Danny
her
about the
we sent her tomato seeds because she was in a wheelchair and she couldn't get out and garden, but she did have a little miniature greenhouse.
And she had a flower bed.
A little flower bed.
Her son did.
Yeah, her son did in front of the house there. She lived with her mother. And we sent her some tomato seeds, and she told me, she said, Danny, they were great for the northern climate. We grew more tomatoes than we knew what to do with. We had tomatoes to give away, to can,
too.
And the peppers. And it thrilled me to know that I was able to bless her heart like that, you know. And
she was very special.
She was a very special young lady.
But
they both passed away this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we want to remember them. We have lots of people that our friend Nikki Stanley. We've asked for prayers for her off and on for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
She went through chemo and with her cancer, thought she was cancer free, started having some issues 2 or 3 weeks ago. They went in and did some more tests and pulled some fluid off of her, and now she has ovarian and uterine cancer, I believe.
I believe she has both of them.
So she started her chemo treatments again yesterday, I believe. So keep Nikki Stanley in your prayers. No, she was not on the
Two Ladies Homestead. She was on Dirt Patch's channel a lot. As a matter of fact, that's how we got to know her, was through Dirt Patch Heaven.
Yes. She found us through Dirt Patch when Dirt Patch did a shout out for us.
Yeah, and anytime, I mean, guys, look, y'all have to understand, y'all are extended family for me and Wanda. And when something happens to y'all, we feel the pain too. Just like y'all, not just like y'all, but we feel the pain like y'all do. And because you're like an extended family to us, and it just
and Georgia Garden Girls asked him, cancer is Nikki Stanley.
Nikki Stanley. Fred, and they've been here before several times. Fred, go over to Wallace Knife Works, and he has videos up in the past where they've done benefits for them.
Yes, and the thing is with Nikki, when she found out she had cancer and she started going through the first treatments, Fred was headed out from work or to work and had an accident. And he ended up in the collar.
Had his neck fractured.
And he was in a collar for several months, and she was taking chemo. So her family stepped in and helped because of the situation with both of them.
Yeah, it's not good.
The agonize on YouTube. Okay.
Of course, we have so many
Mr.
people.
John.
Mr. John Walker.
Is that his? Yeah, from his. We've been keeping up with Mr. John. He and his friend were here the second gathering.
They came to the house here. Yeah.
And so she's been keeping us in with when she's keeping me in contact with what's going on with him. And then we have Patty Alderman's mom passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Scratchmaid's Leslie's mom.
She was doing a little different, a little better, I think, the other day. And then we have Starry.
Miss Starry Hilder. She sent us
Swamp.
JC from Boston Swamp. He's I'll wait and let people go to Patreon. I'm not going to speak for JC.
And then we had Jamie from American Homestead.
American Homestead had the mouth cancer. She's back home.
Yeah. How is Starry? I have not checked in a couple of days. I've been kind of off my...
We've been over to cabin off-grid, staying away from computers for a while.
I know she posted one day, but y'all, when I come in and I'm running through things just kind of don't stick. I'd have to go back and read posts because Starry is going through her really tough time right now, and y'all just keep her in your prayers. She is still posting now.
She's still posting. It's going to be tough because Starry's by herself.
She made a move, and she's really trying to get her life together and do things, and she's still glorifying God, y'all. She's still giving God the glory on all of it.
But these are, and Ms. Amanda's still healing that's on here. Amanda went through surgery, Freedom Acres. She's healing up, and we're wanting to keep her in prayer so that she continues to heal.
Yes, Domingos Mundos in Hamiltonville just popped in. Georgia Garden Girl said her husband Gerald has been having chest pains again, so pray for him. We're with you. Time will tell. When we were young, I don't remember anybody.
I mean, my great grandpa had eye cancer.
I don't remember anybody having cancer.
You just don't hardly ever heard of cancer.
When I went to get married, my husband at the time, this was in '79, his mother had breast cancer and had just went through the treatments. That's the first person I knew of, except for my uncle was dating a girl, her mother had went through breast cancer. Those two people were the only two people I knew of that even I'd heard of anything to do with cancer.
Gemini Homestead says she's having another surgery. Pray for fast healing. We will, Denise. We will pray for you, girl.
Yes, and
Starry's sister is in Georgia.
Yeah, they're saying. Well, I thought she was moving with her sister. I think, or anywhere close.
Somewhere close.
So she can be close to her sister.
Yeah. But anyway,
future dreams to reality.
Yeah, we need to. We just thought those were some people that was kind of special to us this week. We want to take time to say, pray for their families. Because, the purposes, Randy was unexpected. That's left Kathy with a son.
There's three of them.
Three of them. I'm trying to say 2 or 3 of them. I can't remember how many.
I know there's 2. I was thinking 3, but I can't remember.
But they were just getting into homesteading. They were getting ready to retire and really going to ramp it up and stuff like that.
He was wanting to plant.
He was wanting to plant. She's wanting to get everything planted. They were starting to process their food, and then this has happened, and it's going to be a little bit of a setback for them. So,
Rosie's having double hernia surgery.
Brenda says that her daughter, we remember her last week, we prayed for her, going to freeze a tumor in her kidney. That's a new process now to deal with tumors in the kidneys.
Yes.
It's pretty successful, too, from what I've heard.
Oh, they're saying Starry's sister's in the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Yeah.
I knew she was in Georgia, though.
Yeah.
Some of the first vaccines had a cancer virus in them.
Yeah, our age group
took the first
vaccines. Yeah, and that could very well be what's wrong with a lot of our people.
And I have to tell something on myself while you're reading some of the comments this week. Not thinking about how old I am, I guess.
Yeah.
I read a post from one of the girls from high school, and she posted, look for the more information coming up soon on our 40th high school reunion. And I'm sitting here going, why are they posting 5 years early? Is she going to plan this thing for 5 years? And I'm going, what in the world? Who would post 5 years in advance when you're going to have a 40-year
just didn't dawn on you, did it?
And so I went to the site, and guys, this is 2019. Y'all want to guess what year I graduated? 1979. So that means this is 40 years. I'm 5 years behind. I mean, that was a really shocker for me because I was thinking it was 35 years this year since I've been out of high school.
Amanda's having 2 aunts that's undergoing skin cancer removal.
Homestead and Ways lost her husband, Earl. Yes, earlier this year.
Yes, we remember that, yeah.
And I can never say their names. Renda and I can see their title on the big red barn and them coming out. They're having to move because of health issues.
Oh, the ones from Tylertown?
No. What is, y'all know who I'm talking about? Tell me.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. They was raising money for them at the gathering.
Yeah. But their title name is not something homestead, right. So it's hard for me to remember what it is. Hardiness approach. Yeah. See, that's hard for me to remember because it's not something.
Brenda and Jim.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
it was Renda, but I couldn't remember. And I wanted to say Jim, and I'm like, if I say Jim, it's probably not right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to let Danny pray a little bit, and we're going to get some things together and head out and be off grid again tonight and part of tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and go to prayer.
Krebsted says she's
I
going to
saw
have
that. Yeah.
stomach. Okay.
Father, we thank you for the blessed day you've given us, and we thank you for loving us. Father, we know that in life there are those good times, there's bad times. You tell us in the Proverbs or the Ecclesiastes there that there's a time and a purpose for everything under the sun, Father. There's a time to be happy. There's a time to be sad. There's a time to live. There's a time to die. Father, you tell us there's a time for everything. Even though we know these things exist, we know that when it comes time to pass away, Father, that it's never easy. Some people it's easier than other people, but when it's unexpected, Father, we know that there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of grief that goes through it. I've lost a spouse, so I know what that's like. I've lost parents. Wanda's lost parents. We all know we've lost friends. And this week we lost not only subscribers, but we lost dear friends this past week. And Lord, I want to pray for their families through this time of heaviness and grief. And Lord, that you will comfort them. And Amy's mother, Lord, I pray that you'll comfort her heart and help her to find joy again, Lord, after having lost her daughter. And now she has a grandson that she's going to need to help take care of. And Father, and Kathy and Randy, Kathy's without a husband now, and the family's without a father. Lord, we just pray for them that they'll be able to find some sort of closure in this sudden death. And Father, there are those that have cancer. Father, that it breaks my heart anytime I hear about anybody having cancer. As we got Nikki and JC and Starry, and even Gemini on here has had cancer. She's in remission, Lord, and thankful for that. And Lord, there's Leslie's mom, and Father, there's so many. I could just go on and on and on. And Father, it's heartbreaking to see how many people in this country have had cancer, Lord. And Father, I just pray that our nation will wake up and our Senate will go back and amend the bill that they made, making it illegal to cure cancer in this country, and amend it and say that it can be legal to cure it, Lord, because they already had the cure. They just won't let it be used, and they'd rather treat the disease rather than to cure it. And Father, we know that polio was one of the last diseases cured in this country, and they got angry about it when we cured it, and lots of people lost jobs and universities lost income, and they swore they'd never do it again. And Father, that's just sad. That's really sad that people are losing their life because of pharmaceutical incomes. And Lord, I want to pray for those that one lady here, a Georgia garden girl, I think it was, that said her husband was having chest pains, and pray for him. And Lord, there was just many sicknesses and illnesses here that need your attention and need your healing. And we'll pray for each and every one of them, Lord. There was skin cancer, Amanda mentioned, in her family that needed some attention, needed healing. And Lord, we pray for that. And Father, I just want to take time to ask you to heal Amanda's body also, because she's been through surgery. And we just pray that, Father, that there are those that are looking for homesteads. We pray that they can find them. People trying to sell homesteads, we pray that they'll be able to sell them. And Lord, there are heartaches and problems between neighbors and friends that's arisen. And Lord, we just pray for peace and healing in all this. And Father, just healing for our nation as a whole. I feel sorry for us in a lot of ways now, but I just wanted to take the time to mention these things, and we ask them in Christ's name. Amen. Okay. We have got to jump.
Yeah, we've been on here a little bit longer, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Ruth said her daughter's been throwing up for 9 months, not sure why. Well,
That's
I
usually a gastrointestinal
I have
issue.
one throwing up. I've mentioned both my daughters, I guess.
But
One of
they
them
have a
is
reason
throwing
to.
up a lot, and she's
Yeah.
very, very sick, but she is pregnant. And the other one is, she's only pregnant with one. The other one's pregnant with twins, and she's not throwing up, thank goodness, but she
Yeah.
has her issues. So yeah, both my
Yeah.
daughters. And so thank you guys, Two Family Homestead, Mark and Freedom Acres, for jumping in
and moderating
for us. And
I really figured we'd have some trolls tonight, but we didn't.
yeah, and there was somebody else, Music Well. There's
Yeah.
the other one. Thank you guys for helping out, and thank everybody for.
Y'all pray for Georgia Garden Girl's husband, because Georgia Garden Girl lost a husband several years ago. If I'm correct.
No, that's two different. There's two different ones.
Are they? I was thinking
Texas Plow Girl.
No, I think Georgia Garden Girl lost her husband.
No.
If I'm not, forgive me if I'm wrong.
It's Texas Plow Girl.
Hold on a minute here.
Texas Plow Girl.
I could be wrong, but I'm usually not wrong.
Yeah, I think you're talking about two different ladies.
I have to go back and look.
No, she said, I lost a husband 10 years ago. I can't lose another.
Okay.
She said she had lost one already 10 years
That's
ago.
what I said.
But Texas Plow Girl
lost one this past
about a year and a half
maybe
ago.
a couple of years ago. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, some ginger drops. I've been trying with both my girls. One of them don't get sick. The other one is. Okay. She said, I lost my husband, my home, and my dad all at once. Write it together.
Together there. Yeah. Y'all keep her in your prayers. And keep her husband, Gerald, in your prayers.
Yes.
Okay, guys. We're going to jump off of here. Thank y'all for coming on and being with us tonight. We really appreciated that. And keep the Purvises in your prayers, and keep Amy Sutherland's mother and son in your prayers too.
They want to know, how did we do the picture on the video title? Okay, that came about when we first started YouTube. Within the first few months, we were going to change the carrots, because the carrots was a fluke. I just put that picture up just because, and people won't let me change it, so it has to stay. But we were going to change the carrots to something different. And we had a lady say something about, why don't you do the American Gothic picture? And so our neighbor's a photographer, and he says, I would love to do the American Gothic picture for you. Yeah. So our neighbor took that picture, and so every now and then I have to throw it up.
Some of them are airbrushed, and some of them are actual pictures. I don't know if this one was one of the airbrushed ones or not.
I don't think so. I think this one was the picture. The airbrush one, I think, was me and you in modern clothes standing in front of the house. If I remember.
I don't remember what the
one of them was and one of them wasn't. But yeah, that's how the American Gothic picture came about, is because we had one of our subs asked us to do an American Gothic picture, and we did.
And if y'all want to see some of my talks about food shortages, EMPs, and things like that, the cabin build, run over to Patreon, join over there.
Losing it.
Yeah, I said it kept going in and out, but the finger's working fine. Oh.